With the new My Lowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Halloween podcast. I am your host, Lyle Perez.
And I'm your co-host, Megan Cunningham.
Megan, how are you doing?
I'm not bad. How about you?
I'm doing good. Just recovering from being out of town.
Yeah, you've been a traveling man lately. Where you been going?
I know. Oh man, I went to Smoky Mountain Fan Fest in Kingsport, Tennessee, which is about 6 hours away. So that was a trek, but
that's a hike, yeah.
Yeah, I did get to meet a lot of cool people though, and I got to meet Richard Karn. I don't think I told you that one.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing!
I met Al from Home Improvement, and I asked him about that missing scene in the Home Improvement Halloween episode, the one with Halloween
What
Larry.
did he say?
He says, "I don't remember."
Oh.
Did
you tell him that you named your cat after him?
I told him that I named the hardware store after him, and that made him blush. It really did. But I mean, we told him legal reasons. The reason why it's called Al's Hardware is because the cat is named Al.
The cat,
and the cat is in all of the advertising. It's not Al because of Al Borland from Home Improvement. It is the cat. And he's like, okay, yeah, that's better.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, no, that's it. If you know, you know. So he signed the picture that I had of him. He signed it to Al's Hardware. So now we're gonna put it up in the hardware store.
Fab. Oh, that's very cool.
And he liked that picture though. He looked at it and he's like, "Wow, I've never seen this picture. This is a good picture of me." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Hey." Then he was talking to his management or whoever it was. He's like, "Hey, we need to find this picture so we can get copies of it." Yeah. And I was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and then I met. He's I invited him on the show to try to get him on, and
what did you say?
He was at first saying maybe, but then he said, "Well, I don't think so because he's actually going to start a home improvement rewatch podcast."
Cool.
And he said he has to save all of his stories for that, but
that makes sense.
He also said that his memory's starting to go, so he doesn't remember a lot of the stories. So hopefully he can get that podcast out there before that pesky time gets all of us. Stupid time.
Maybe once he's up and running, we can do a collaboration with him.
Yeah, I did give him one of my business cards, or one of our business cards, so he at least have that if he didn't throw it away.
He's like, this weird man named his cat in a store after me. I'm getting rid of this.
Yeah. Oh, and then later, I think like the next day or 2 days later, he came by the booth, and I talked to him, and I jokingly said, "Hey, Al," and then he started laughing, and then I said, "Hey, does that really happen all the time? Do people still call you Al?" And he said, "You know what? People still do call me Al, but when I started doing Family Feud, people started calling me Richard." Because in there he's Richard Karn from Family Feud. Yeah. So that was a fun interaction. And then I showed him the podcast stuff, and then he walked away. But at least he came by.
If I were to see him in public, I would be one of those people. I would definitely be like, Al!
Yeah.
I've never really watched Family Feud, so my only reference for him is Home Improvement. And I feel like that's not a bad thing. That was amazing acting. Really funny.
And then next to him was Patricia Richardson, who is Jill.
Oh,
Jill was there.
Yes.
And she was a lot of fun, too. Took a couple pictures with her. Uh, yeah, she was very nice, very nice, very
She still
nice.
gets a bit of mileage out of that character too. Every now and then she pops up as like a guest star on something or other.
Hmm.
In fact, Tim Allen's, well, I don't know if it's his latest show, but he did that show Last Man Standing, and she popped up, and the whole
Yeah,
episode was pretty much the inside joke was she knew him from somewhere. She couldn't put her finger on it. And
yeah,
he reminded her of her annoying ex-husband or whatever. But yeah.
yeah. Debbie Dunning was also there. Heidi, she was also there. I
Oh,
didn't really
no
get to meet
way.
her,
I completely
but
forgot about Heidi.
yeah, she was there, and they also had Morgan Fairchild was there, and they did an episode together.
Oh,
She was right next to all of them.
oh
I
wow.
didn't get to meet her, but she did look at me, and she looked
Hmm.
at my table, and she kind of stared for a good, I'd say in my mind it was a good 20 seconds, but it was probably more like 10 seconds where she stood in front of the table, probably a good 20 feet away. She looked over, she looked at me, she looked at the banners, she looked at me again, she looked down, she looked at me at the banner, and then she walked away.
I'm taking that as confirmation that she's a Halloween fan.
Either
She was
that,
curious for just 10 seconds.
she actually posted something the night before about meeting Richard Karn again because they did an episode together of Home Improvement, and I put a comment there, and obviously with a name like the Halloween podcast, that kind of catches people's attention. So
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was, and she was like, "Oh, this is the guy that commented on that thing that I posted yesterday," and then she walked away.
I'm pretty sure she loves Halloween. I'm going to take it as she loves Halloween.
Yeah,
You should
yeah.
ask her to come on.
Oh yeah, she would have a lot of stories. She would have a lot of stories. She's been around for a
So
while.
she has. So I understand that you met Mario Lopez.
Yeah, Mario Lopez was there, and I don't want
Who
to
is a
just.
confirmed Halloween fan.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Like
Oh no.
one of the things that I noticed, and I noticed this because I also met Michael Cudlitz, who was what was his character from The Walking Dead? Gosh, why is his name escaping me? I can see him perfectly, but gosh, I don't know. Red-headed guy. What's his name? I don't know. But he was in The Walking Dead, and for whatever reason, I can't remember his character. Abraham. He was Abraham in The Walking Dead.
Yes, yep.
And I went up to his table, and he had nobody at his table, but I mean, it was throughout the entire day. A lot of the people didn't have anybody at their table, and I walked up to his table, and he was sitting there with his script open, like he was reading a script, and he was like doing stuff on his phone. He had a script out, and he was working. And I was like, okay, these guys are like, they're working, they're here, but they're kind of distracted because they have work that they have to do. And that's the sense that I had with Mario Lopez. He was either very overworked or something like that, because he honestly, he didn't say two words to us. He probably he did. He said, "Here you go, buddy," and that was it. He patted me on the back. He didn't stand up for our picture. We kind of had to like squeeze in to him.
Yeah.
And like usually as they're signing stuff, they'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?" Yada yada, trying to strike up very, very minimal conversation. But no, he just sat there. He autographed my VHS tape of Saved by the Bell. And he looked up for our picture. We kind of squeezed in really fast, took our picture. He patted me on the back and said, "Here you go, buddy." And then we left. And that was like it. That was zero interaction. And I walked around. Wow, I don't know. I think it was because he's overworked. I walked around a little bit. I was walking in circles, going back and forth. And I was like kind of watching his interactions with everybody. And he was doing the same thing with everybody. Like he was really like just trying to push them all out of the way. And when nobody was in his line, I'd see him looking at his phone, like doing stuff. And I'm like, okay, these guys are like, they're working and they're more like, this is more of a distraction. And I'm thinking in my head, like if you're going to come to a place that is going to have your fans, like you can't be distracted. You can't have
Yeah.
like, if you're there, this is what you're going to do at the moment. You're not going to worry about whatever's going to happen tomorrow or the next week. You're there.
Mhm.
Like I paid $100 to have him sign something, take a
Yeah.
picture. Like I'd at least wanted to say hi or something.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
But
Absolutely. You want to feel like you met him. Like that was the whole point.
Yeah.
You could pay for an autograph online, but
Yeah.
meeting and greeting is the main part of why it's important.
Yeah. So that was my interaction with Mario Lopez. But I'm pretty sure that was a lot of people's interaction with Mario Lopez.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. I even saw like, because there was a lot of people in like wheelchairs and stuff. And like the person in the wheelchair was literally trying to get close to Mario Lopez for the picture, and he wouldn't get up.
Oh, that's just rude.
Yeah. And then after that, I just walked away. I was like, so I don't know if he
that's
really,
not nice.
if he really got up and like, went closer to take the picture. But I just saw that the person in the wheelchair was just like trying to inch in, and there wasn't that much space to begin with. So they were trying to inch in.
I hope that he did, and I hope he was just having a bad day, because he was always my favorite Saved by the Bell character. And I always thought, like, from the other stuff that he does, that he seemed like a pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hopefully he was just having a bad day.
Yeah. He looked great though. He looked like $1 million. And I'm sitting there going, damn, this guy like works out every single day, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was. You were keeping him from his workout.
I guess so. But
So Lyle, did anybody ask directions to the bathroom? That's your thing.
No. At this con, nobody had asked me where the bathroom was, or that they had to pee, or anything like that.
That's good.
But
well, that's an improvement.
It is an improvement. But
although
overall,
maybe if Mario Lopez had to go to pee, he would have spoken to you.
That's probably what I think was the problem when we went up there, is because we were the last ones in the line, and I'm pretty sure he had to take a break afterwards. He probably had to go to the bathroom. So he was like, all right, get out of here, guys. I gotta go. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had a great time, and it sounds like you got to meet some amazing people.
Yeah.
And make some really cool possible connections for future shows.
Yeah. Tyler Main from the Halloween movies. He was there. He played Michael Myers in the 2007
That's the
one.
Rob Zombie Halloween movies, right?
Yeah, he played in that one. I talked to him for a little bit, invited him on the show, so hopefully we can probably get him on at some point. Who else? Lou Temple was there from The Walking Dead and Halloween and a lot of other stuff. He was there. He's more than likely going to come on the show.
That'd be so cool.
I talked to his I guess management. His management person was right next to my booth, so we were talking back and forth the entire time.
That's handy.
Nice guy. So I got all of his contact information. So he's more than likely going to come on. I don't want to say 100%, but 90% sure he'll come on.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was a great time. It was a fun time.
I enjoyed The Walking Dead as a series in general.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have the stamina to keep going with all the seasons. I also ended up with 2 small children, so
Right.
distracted. But back when I had time for such things, I enjoyed The Walking Dead. It's definitely not something I could get away with watching now.
Yeah. I've met a lot of them from The Walking Dead. Norman Reedus, I remember meeting him I met him at a bar once when we were, after the convention was over, we were all at the bar. He taps me on the shoulder, and then I look over and I see it's Norman Reedus, and he goes, "Hey, did they do last call yet?" And I was like, "Yeah, they just did. You might want to get your drink." And I turned around. So that was my only interaction.
Of course you did. Just casual. You're like, whatever.
My only interaction. And then Jenny Spain, who was she was the dead girl in the movie. I think it was just called Dead Girl, and she played the actual dead girl.
Okay.
And she was there at the bar too, and she struck up a conversation with Norman Reedus, but I could have sworn that she was like hitting on me, trying to buy me a drink.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's so funny.
My interactions with these people. But
the dead girl tried to buy you a drink.
Yeah. She claims she didn't, and I'm like, no, you straight up did. She was like all drunk. So yeah, it was a good time.
Sometimes happens in a bar.
This was about 15 years ago now. This is when The Walking Dead was just coming out. So
yeah,
it was fun. But conventions.
That had to be a fun series to be an extra on.
Yeah.
To be just sort of one of the Walking Dead,
Yeah,
you know?
walking around.
Although a lot of it was CGI, but a lot of it was actors too.
Yeah. Seems like fun to do. I've always wanted to do that where I'm just like a background character in some type of a movie or a show. I just wanted to
be
just
fun, wouldn't
be
it?
atmosphere. I don't want to be like in the main. I just want to be around.
There were a bunch of casting calls for extras and things, and a lot of locals who showed up were cast as extras when they were filming the most recent Beetlejuice film here in Massachusetts and around New England.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did turn up and were put as extras.
Nice.
But how cool would that be? You'd be like, yeah, I was in Beetlejuice. I was not, by the way. But,
you could have been.
Yeah, I know. I could have been. I could have been. It was this close.
Yeah.
But Beetlejuice and the new Hocus Pocus films. Obviously, the original Hocus Pocus film. But yes, you do get a few things filmed up here in New England, seemingly mostly Halloween themed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, the next
time we hear about something, I'll have to turn up with my Halloween podcast T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh man, what a sight that would be to be watching something. All of a sudden, you see the Halloween podcast shirt.
Yes, right behind Beetlejuice or right behind one of the Sanderson sisters.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Hocus Pocus, the kids in that in the movie, they were there, or they're going to be at St. Louis, which is the next one I'll be at, the next con, which is in
very cool.
I think it's in July, but they were in the previous one that I was at before Smoky Mountain Fan Fest. They were all there. I talked to Omri Katz for a little bit. He was fun. Vanessa Shaw was there, and Jason Marsden. I actually talked to him at this last con too. He's probably going to be on the show. Hopefully, I can get him on.
Oh yes.
So we might have Jason Marsden.
It's wrong that I'm more excited about the voice of Binks than I am about
about anything else. Yeah.
Yes.
He was the sidekick in pretty much any sitcom you can think of. He was definitely the sidekick of one of the main characters in the show. He was just everywhere. Goodness. He was everywhere.
I swear though, if you played that voice, or a clip of that anywhere with my eyes closed, I would be like, oh, that's Binks the cat.
Yeah.
I was that generation that the original Hocus Pocus really, really hit hard, influenced.
Yeah.
It is part of my Halloween canon, and I won't hear anything bad said about it.
Yeah.
The later films are up for debate,
right.
But the original was perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't get me started on part 2.
In fact, I have my Hocus Pocus shirt on today.
Oh, nice. It looks nice.
I have a bazillion Halloween shirts.
Yeah.
I have enough to wear literally one every single day in October. Plus some extras.
Yeah. Well, it's like me and my work shirts. All I have is work shirts all the time. It's just work shirts.
We need an Al's Hardware work shirt with the cat.
Yeah, well, I actually do have Al's Hardware shirts, but that was before we decided to name the cat Al and do it that way. Mm-hmm. So none of the shirts have Al on it. I should make more with Al, the cat, of course. Or just
put Al on the back.
Yeah.
So you see the Al's Hardware cat on the back.
Yeah. But
anyway, we digress.
Yes. It was a fun con, though. We actually, I have another one coming in October that's called Wrestle Scream. I can't say that. Wrestle Scream. For whatever reason, my mind just explodes when I try to say that. But it's going to be October 9th through the 10th. We'll be there. I'll be there at least. I'm working on Megan to try to get her to finally show up to one of these things.
The hope is that I will also be there.
Yeah. Yes. So mark it in your calendars. It's going to be in Knoxville, October 9th. October 10th, we will be there. Wrestle Scream. WrestleScream.com.
Say that 5 times fast.
Yes, I think that is the website, so you can check out more information there. But we'll definitely be there. I'll keep working on Megan. I'll get her there. She'll come, I'm sure.
The hope is that I will be there for sure.
If not, I'll definitely be there. And yes. I'll be there to meet and greet all of you guys, give out some stickers, and new listeners. But perfect. So, Megan, we are here. We're going to do an episode. We're going to be talking about why vintage Halloween costumes are so creepy. Why are they so creepy, Megan?
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada?
Yes, please.
Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/listen and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/listen.
Donde sea que vayas, ganas puntos como un pro con la nueva tarjeta American Express de My Lowe's Pro Rewards. En compras elegibles, gana 3 puntos por cada $1 en Lowe's durante los primeros 6 meses después de abrir una cuenta. Además, gana puntos donde acepten la tarjeta American Express. Aprovecha hoy. Sujeto a aprobación de crédito. Aplican exclusiones y restricciones. Puntos sujetos a términos del programa de lealtad en Lowe's.com/terms y términos de recompensas de crédito en Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Detalles en Lowe's.com/business credit.
Oh, and they are epically creepy. So much more creepy than anything that anyone makes today.
Yeah.
And apart from, some of these people who are able to do proper special effects and things. But even then, there's something about the everyday items that they used that just make it so much creepier. Because I don't know. It's so much creepier. Have you ever seen photographs?
I have, and I got some here that I'm going to show you in just a little bit to get your reaction. So, if you guys don't know, we do record all of these on video, and right now we just have them up on our Patreon, and you can check it out, patreon.com/thehalloweenpod. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It might actually be the Halloween podcast, but let me double check because I think I might have changed it, but I don't think I did. I think it's still...
if you're not seeing the visuals, you're definitely missing out. Some of them are great. Whether it's Lyle's thrifting finds or things he finds in businesses he buys or photographs or whatever.
Yeah.
The visuals are definitely half the fun.
It is patreon.com/thehalloweenpod. There will be a link in the show notes. Support the show, and you can definitely watch the unedited versions of these videos. And I haven't really cleared this with Megan yet, but we might be releasing some on
surprise.
We might be releasing some on YouTube. Maybe. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Because we do have the YouTube channel now. Finally, I believe that one is youtube.com/thehalloweenpodcast. All of the podcasts end up there. But only the Patreon people will get the unedited stuff, so you'll be able to hear us banter before we even start an episode. And you'll be able to see some of these images and stuff. You'll be able to see like some of the visuals that I show Megan in the show. And so go join us there. Support the show. But why we find these costumes so creepy, I think it's because they look almost human, but they're just kind of like not quite human. The masks have faces, they have eyes, they smile, and sometimes they just feel off. Like our brains have like this imperfect immediate reaction when we see stuff that's old or older. Like one thing that I'm always, if you see a sitcom from like the 70s or the 80s, you go, wow, that person looks old. And then you sit there and you think about it. I'm like, I'm 40. That person that I'm looking at is like 30. Why do they look so old? Why do they look old? It's because that is from a different time period. That's how we associate how we associate time and how we associate visuals is all time periods. Well, in my opinion, it's all just time periods. That's why like older people, like I don't look at myself and say, yeah, that's a 40-year-old dude. Like I'm like, no, I still look like I'm 10 in my opinion. I am still a 10-year-old little boy. But in reality, I'm not. And then the younger generation is going to look at me and go, yeah, you look old. And I'd be like, what? I don't know about that.
I had a very humbling experience recently. I went to the doctor and I got there and I was like, oh my gosh, I could have babysat this person. And they're the actual doctor.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't, like, same as that, I don't think of myself as being particularly old or anything like that, but there you go.
Right. And there's actually a word for something that looks quite right, but then kind of doesn't. It just looks off. They call that the uncanny, which is something that Sigmund Freud, he came up with in 1919 with the essay The Uncanny. And we all know Sigmund Freud. He was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure in the 80s. So we all know him from there. But no, I think he was like this philosopher or this, what's that word? Psychiatrist type person.
Yes, yeah. He started the whole thing about how little boys want to marry their mothers and little girls want to marry their fathers.
Yeah. Yeah, he was that guy. He really believed that people feel uneasy when something is both familiar and unfamiliar at the same exact time. Like you see something and you go, yeah, that looks right. But then you go, well, that doesn't look right. All in one go, that would be considered the uncanny.
Didn't he? I've only sort of seen bits about it in articles. I've never actually studied it. But didn't he say it was kind of like entering a, like it almost messed with your head because you weren't sure was everything else around you then? It changed your frame of reference. It was like he called it the uncanny valley.
Yeah.
Because it sort of changed your idea of, it made you question everything then around you.
Well, the actual uncanny valley was later coined by somebody else. I'm trying to see in my notes. I know I have it.
There you go. I didn't go to the source. I was just, like I said, I've only ever seen it in articles.
I can't even pronounce this guy's name. Masario Mori in 1970 is the one who actually coined the term uncanny valley, which it describes when what happens when something looks almost human but not quite human. It's something that becomes more human-like. People usually find it more appealing and relatable. But when it's very close to something we're very familiar with, but yet it's not exactly it, that's when it turns into the uncanny valley.
And I think, too, in addition to the fact that they look human but not human, it was also the materials that they used. So, of course, like the costumes that we're talking about in terms of old costumes are primarily, and correct me if I'm wrong, but primarily like 1930s and 40s. When I think of really creepy Halloween costumes, those are the ones that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And they were made from everyday stuff. So it wasn't even just that the person looks like a person, but not quite. It was that the items they used were things that you would recognize from your life, but being used in a way that was like wrong. So bed sheets, pillowcases, like scraps of worn out everyday clothing. And then, of course, crepe paper and papier-mâché and all those sorts of things were used to make masks and hats and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But the everyday items, like especially in the 1930s, flour sack fabric was a big thing. And women literally used to make their dresses out of it. And the flour companies designed them with pretty prints and stuff so people could do that. Because during the Depression, things like linens and cloths were very expensive.
Yeah.
So if you could buy your flour sack, use the flour, and then use the cloth, a lot of people did. So you're looking at these images, and these are people just using their flour sack cotton.
Yeah.
Or like that's where you get the classic bedsheet ghost that we all think about, all came from originally that time period.
Yeah.
Because up to that, as we discussed on our Thanksgiving special, dressing up was primarily a Thanksgiving phenomenon rather than a Halloween phenomenon. So this is also the first era in America where you see people actively dressing up for Halloween as opposed to for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade kind of killed that tradition dead.
Yeah.
Because people started doing other things for Thanksgiving. But in 1927, the first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was held. And that sort of changed our whole way of doing things.
Right.
So yeah, the first real intentional Halloween costumes were super creepy.
Yeah. It also in my opinion, it also has to do with how we perceive it now. When photography was starting to become a big thing, it wasn't the best quality. It was grainy. It's off. It's like, I'm pretty sure the first photographs we had, I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically a mirror reflection. So your right arm turns into your left arm, and you kind of just have to hold up an old photograph and then hold a mirror next to it. And what you're looking at in the mirror was exactly the same exact pose that the guy had. Everything is like flipped. So it just looks weird. It looks off. It's not how if I were to look at that person taking the picture, I would have seen it completely different than what the actual picture was when it was developed. So that would have a lot to do with it. I mean,
I never say it right. It's daguerreotypes or daguerreotypes.
Yeah,
I never pronounce it right.
Yeah.
But it's like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the sort of first widely available photographs. So in the 1800s, people would go in and have their picture taken. And that's also where you get a lot of the creepy ones too, because you had to stay perfectly still for quite a while to get these images. So if you twitched or blinked or whatever, your photo could come out looking really, really creepy.
Yeah.
And that's where you get a lot of these quote unquote ghost photos where people will see a shadow over someone's shoulder or something like that. And it's actually that someone in the photo area moved.
Yeah.
Or that they had tried to reuse a plate or something that somebody else had a photo on previously that didn't fully expose.
Right.
Because they were expensive.
Oh, yeah.
To produce and everything. It wasn't like now where you could just go in and print off copies. As you say, it was an actual hard copy thing that they handed to you at the end, and that was your photo.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the expressions were always frozen because of that. So it's not like the guy taking the picture was like, all right, guys, say cheese. Like, there was none of that. You had to sit there for a long time, wait for this thing for the shutter to develop. And there we go. So, I mean, frozen expressions, eyes that looked empty in these photographs, like all of those things, the black and white, the graininess, and
it was considered really undignified to smile.
Yeah.
In a photo. So I feel like people always look a bit in the photos as well.
Yeah.
They're just not happy people. So you look at them, even now, even a perfectly normal old photograph, people seem to find them creepy. Like a lot of Halloween displays and haunted houses and stuff will just have random old photos up, and you're thinking that's just someone's grandma. Or like great grandma.
Yeah.
She was probably a really nice lady, but because it's an old photo and all of those things,
right?
People today perceive it as creepy. So yeah, that's definitely a layer of why I think we find them creepy.
Yeah, and another thing too is we know these are real people. It's not like they're monsters or they're anything like that. They're real, like kids. Like, this was somebody's kid. This, as they grew up, this is somebody's like great grandpa by now. So it was a real person who was just doing regular, ordinary 1930s things. Somebody snapped a picture of it, and here we are 100 years later looking at it going, wow, that looks creepy. It just looks weird. It is off. They had a different culture than the culture that we have now. So their costumes were different because that was they had a different culture. They had a different Halloween experience than the experience we're having now. So it's, And
we should put in there that the photos we're talking about from the 1930s and 40s were not the same ones we were just referencing from the 1800s.
Yes.
Different type of photo.
Yes.
They had, other technologies by then that people could take photographs from home and things like that in the 30s and 40s. But still, they were black and white and all of these things. So we do see them as creepy.
Yeah. And another thing, too, that I just thought about of why we might find them creepy is because we live in a world now where we have horror movies. We have scary visuals that we can instantly get to. We can go online right now and download some slasher film. But back then, they didn't really have that. So we look at that and we look at this old stuff and we go, wow, this can be like a serial killer. And It's all because
Yeah.
that's just how we are like desensitized to this type of stuff. We access it all the time. We can see it. And yeah, we just associate these old images of ordinary people, again, ordinary kids just out there trick-or-treating with their baskets, doing 100% innocent things. But then we have like this frozen time capsule, which we call a picture, and we see it and we go, wow, that's creepy.
Well, and how many like slasher film, bad guys and stuff, how many of them wear masks? Tons of them wear masks.
Yeah.
I know, not all of them, but a lot of these costumes back then utilized masks.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you get like John Wayne Gacy, who was a clown, and became known as sort of associated with the killer clown persona. And a lot of these have sort of clown makeup or makeup similar to a clown. So all of our modern things that we would associate with horror that they may or may not have associated with horror back then, all sort of wind up in those old costumes because they were largely masks, either made from paper mache or the people had makeup on their faces that resembles kind of badly drawn clowns. So it pushes all those buttons that modern horror fans or true crime fans would be thinking about.
Yeah, and these costumes are also they're handmade, homemade, just like you said. They're imperfect because they are handmade. They're not made by factories, machinists.
Yeah, they're not mass produced.
Yeah, so the costumes today that we have, they're mostly professionally made. They're, you get a costume from Spirit Halloween and somebody made it. Some engineer or some seamist, whoever it is, figured out how to make one of these things. They made one and then they just produced more and more and more. So machines did it. Machines sometimes do perfect work. So it comes out pretty good. So older costumes, they didn't have that. So you're going to have those imperfections. One arm might be slightly bigger than the other. So that might look a little creepy because it's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be real. It's supposed to be even, but it's not. And that gives us the unsense of, hey, this is kind of right, but it's kind of not. So it's creeping me out. The uncanny for you.
Exactly.
The uncanny.
And this period, too, is when we started to see the very first, again, there were some companies that had started to produce items for Thanksgiving previously, and they just switched around and started producing for Halloween, whether it be candy or there were some very, very few commercial costumes being made during this period compared with the amount of homemade costumes. But there were companies who did make costumes, but they were really basic as well. So like the mask was just flat pressed cardboard, and that might be like stiff woven fabric, like really starched up fabric, or like really, really, really early forms of like plastic masks and things, but those would have been for the wealthy. Like your average person, especially in the 30s, going through the Depression, nobody was going to spend money on something like that. And if they did, they weren't going to spend a lot. So even the very, very first mass-produced costumes had that kind of cheap quality to them. Like they were meant to be used and then just thrown away.
Discarded.
Like a lot of them were just made from paper. And they were just designed to be chucked away when you were finished. And that kind of gives it a creepy vibe as well. I don't know. There's something about them that's just you're wearing it for now. It's almost like a bank robber. Like a bank robber has, you see them in the nylon stockings or whatever in the movies. And you just think, oh, they're gonna chuck this away when they go around the corner. They must be up to something naughty or bad or whatever. So the little kids are there and they're in their mask. Kind of reminds me of Nightmare Before Christmas. And you have Lock, Shock, and Barrel, I think they're called, or something. And they have those sort of creepy early type masks that they wear in the film. And they're perfect, by the way. But
something just sparked in my head right now is you were saying that these things were meant to be discarded after one use. I don't really think much things back then were made to be discarded after one use. Even like diapers.
Most things were made to be reused.
I mean, nowadays we have diapers that they're disposable. You can just throw them away. Back then, no, you would have to like clean it after the baby was done. Could you imagine cleaning up all of those from your kids?
I should imagine that and I have no proof of this necessarily, although some of them still exist in collections. So there you go. But I should imagine that some of the homemade sort of paper mache items and things were kept and like passed on to younger siblings.
Yeah.
But again, the things they were using were things that now we would throw away. So like clothing that couldn't be worn anymore for day to day. It was just being reused, but it wasn't then meant to be kind of kept and treasured. It was going in the trash anyway, which was why it became part of your Halloween costume.
Right.
And for the mass produced ones, like I said, they would have been for a very small portion of the population that could have afforded them or bothered buying them in the first place.
Yeah.
And they were just so cheaply made that they weren't designed to last. Like they'd be in tatters by the end of the night anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, the uncanny is one thing, and I guess one of the final things I'll say about the uncanny is that it's not exactly fear, the uncanny. It's more of a sense that something is wrong, if that makes
it's uneasy.
Yes, it's uneasy. It's not that you're scared of it. It is that you want it to be correct, but it's not. And that kind of just gives you, because our brains just want to make sense of things. We live in a world where, we have to make sense of like this right here. This is a pen. I know it's a pen. What do I do with it? I write. And that's what I know. But if I were to like try to write with it the other way and nothing's writing, my brain will be like, why is nothing writing? That is so weird. It's not supposed to happen. So that's the uncanny. Not exactly fear. It's more or less something is wrong and something is...
Yeah, something feels eerie. Something doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
You're uneasy about it.
It's uneasy. Yeah. Well, you ready
Which I think some ways makes it creepier. Like even some of the best horror films, I think, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think that's why a lot of the older horror films tend to be in many ways better, and they still are as relevant today as they were then, because even though the technology has changed and all those things, what they're really good at doing is giving you a sense of unease. They sort of unbalance you and keep you uneasy through the entire film.
Right.
So that when you're done, instead of all these giant big jump scares, you come out of it still feeling unease, and out of balance and all those things. And those old horror films were great at doing that. They didn't have to show the monsters. They didn't need all the special effects. It was just that feeling of unease and disquiet that made you feel like something was wrong in the world that you and I could like walk around in. Right. The Exorcist, when we talked about that with our guests and things in the past, we had 2 different episodes about The Exorcist. Yeah. That was a huge thing that they did really, really well, was just make their audience massively uneasy. Most recently, we talked about it with Nate and Curtis.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why we find them creepy. You guys might find them creepy for other reasons. And if you do, make sure you send us an email and let us know. The Halloween podcast at gmail.com. Or we also have a new one at info@thehalloweenpodcast.com. So that one, we will start transitioning to that one. And of course, in the show notes. But before we go, Megan, do you want to see some of these crazy pictures?
I absolutely do. And just as a note, if anybody has any favorite old Halloween creepy photos, or even just photos of themselves, send them. Post them in the comments when we put these things up on our socials, and they may or may not get used in a future show.
Yeah, you never know.
Roll
Donde sea que vayas, ganas puntos como un pro con la nueva tarjeta American Express de My Lowe's Pro Rewards. En compras elegibles gana 3 puntos por cada $1 en Lowe's durante los primeros 6 meses después de abrir una cuenta. Además, gana puntos donde acepten la tarjeta American Express. Aprovecha hoy. Sujeto a aprobación de crédito. Aplican exclusiones y restricciones. Puntos sujetos a términos del programa de lealtad en Lowe's.com/terms y términos de recompensas de crédito en Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Detalles en Lowe's.com/business credit.
But here we go. First up, check that one out, Megan. What do you think of that one? We got 2 kids, it looks like, maybe. One's way taller than the other. But they have...
See, I'm looking at these, and I'm having envy over their pails. if you found that pail in a thrift store today, it would probably cost like $600 if it was original. But yeah, I'm looking at their pails going, wow. But I'm also looking at them thinking these are probably more well-to-do kids.
Yeah.
They're just based on the look of their costumes. Those look to me like store-bought costumes and store-bought pails.
Yeah,
just because of how uniform they are.
The 2 kids are dressed like what, pumpkins? Maybe it could be. They have
pumpkins,
like pointed
or even
hats.
just clowns or something. One of them has like a little horn.
Yeah.
Their pails are definitely awesome, creepy paper mache, I think, pumpkins.
Yeah.
People will see them. They're the iconic vintage, retro, whatever you want to... I'm not sure what the correct term is exactly. Halloween pails that you would see.
And they're both
a lot
smiling.
Of artists try to recreate them today.
They are both smiling, which is nice.
They are both smiling, yes. Yeah. They're friendly, creepy pumpkins.
Happy kids. All right, let's go to the next one.
And yes, the children are delighted.
Here we go. Now we got something really creepy.
Because these are adults.
These are adults.
Either that or they're older children. They might be sort of teenagers too. It's hard to tell with the masks.
I'm almost positive these are adults.
Teenagers dressed as adults.
They have to be adults. There's no way that they're not. We got 2, 4, 6. They all look female, so 6 women are. They all have some type of a mask on, and the second to the last one on the right, she's got that black purse. That mask, just looks like it is like plastic, weird,
reminiscent of Leatherface.
Yes, it looks like she cut the face off of one of the other kids in there and then shoved it on her face. It looks
like somebody cut the face off Lucille Ball.
Yes,
it could be.
It does.
I Love Lucy gone completely wrong.
Yeah, and then you have one that looks like has a bag or something over the head. The second one, the one all in white.
Yes,
it's like a pillowcase almost with eyes cut out, but it's like wrapped around her neck.
Yes, it looks like a pillowcase because you can see the corners where the edges of the pillow would be tucked.
Yeah,
that they've left kind of just sticking out.
Yeah, and these women are probably just all co-workers, just huddled for a quick picture. And we just find it so creepy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next one. All right, how about those? The dog masks.
The masks are absolutely creepy, but my first reaction, these are obviously little kids. So my first reaction was, ah.
Even with those masks on, those masks are way creepy.
It's true. It's true. I probably would think of it differently if I hadn't just seen the picture of the possible adults. But like these are really little kids.
Yeah.
But the masks are super creepy.
Yeah. They are
very creepy.
They are, and they also have horns.
They're meant to be dogs, I think.
Like they have horns too. You see them on their
hand?
hand, like
see that.
in the hands.
Oh, like yes, blowing horns.
Like,
yeah. I thought you meant on the head.
And
I was like, whoa.
Didn't this one have it too? Like
yes.
Like look at the little girl.
Makers, and things like that would have been a carryover from the previous Thanksgiving celebrations.
Yeah,
and they would have been brought into the Halloween celebrations just to sort of add to the idea of mischief and mayhem and all that other stuff.
You know, we should bring this back. I should start handing these out for Halloween.
Hand out noisemakers. Parents will love you. They're like, I'm never going to his house again.
Have all the parents hate me. Be like, yeah, we're going to leave a bad review to the Halloween podcast because they gave my kids all of these crazy things. All right.
They also used to sell, I don't know if you've ever seen them, the really cool tin noisemakers that you they're at a right angle.
Yeah.
And you spin them sideways and they make kind of a rattling sound. Those were popular as well in that period.
I gotta get some of those.
Through to recent days.
All right. Head on over to Lyle's house for Halloween. I'll get you hooked up, kids.
Parents of all the littles are like, no.
Next up. All right.
Oh, whoa.
So we got 5 little kids holding hands. We got, it looks like Popeye's first. That's got to be Popeye. We got Mickey Mouse. We got maybe Daffy Duck, or not Daffy Duck, Donald Duck. And then another Mickey. And then the last one I can't make out. I don't know. Maybe
looks like a clown or something like that to me.
Yeah. They're all holding hands. But the thing that makes this picture even more creepier is that there's a car on fire in the back. I'm pretty sure that's that's not real. That looks like a image.
No, it looks to me like a image that somebody has edited. No, bonfires and stuff were a tradition that people did at different points in the year, like originally for Thanksgiving, for Halloween, for different reasons. And yeah, a lot of times people use that opportunity and still do today to burn their trash. And our modern era where we know about pollution and things like that, you kind of go, oh! But yeah, a lot of people would have burned their trash. I don't think anyone would have burned a car.
No.
I think that's a stretch, especially because that looks like a fairly good car, and probably definitely not in this period when it was sort of make, do, and mend, and people didn't. Although these masks are all store-bought, so I'm going to go with this is later. This is probably the 50s.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be.
Even just looking at their clothes, I think it's the 50s or 60s.
Yeah. That one's creepy. Here's the really creepy one coming up next. We got that one.
Oh my goodness!
It looks like a baby.
Real, or is that? It does. It looks like the skull of a baby.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder: is it real, or is this one something that someone created?
I don't know. It could be something that somebody created, because this is like way creepy. It's a child.
It's way creepy, and I feel like it's too what's the right word that I'm looking for? Too sort of biologically or like physiologically correct. The skull idea.
But the skull has like
whereas
horns.
Most of these costumes have imperfections, like it's too perfect. And yes, they've stuck horns on it. So I'm just going, ooh.
Yeah, I don't remember where I found this image, but it's basically a little child, looks like a little girl with a white dress, and she has like a skull, like a real skull mask on with like these really small horn nubs. And she's sitting in like a chair.
Yeah, like on a chaise sort of thing. This is a perfect example, though, of what you were talking about in terms of old photos, because I do think that this is a manufactured photo, but I think the person did it for precisely the reasons that you discussed in relation to old photos.
Yeah.
They're just seen as creepier for a lot of reasons. And so they've used that opportunity to make something that was perceived as creepy even creepier.
Yeah.
And they've really leaned into that. Great job, whoever made it.
Yeah, it says that there's a lot of confusion on this image. It was dated back to the early 1900s, so I'm assuming it is a real photograph.
But is that the original photo behind it, and somebody's just put the face on it?
That I don't know.
Because I believe the original photo... Have you seen this thing that people do? Listeners, have you done it? Tell us. My friend Abby and I have been talking about doing it for years. We've been threatening to do it for years. Where you go into a charity shop and you buy, a picture of a gazebo or these old sort of landscape pictures, and you paint ghosts and other spooky things on it and turn this normal picture into a Halloween picture. With your friends as a project. And I'm wondering if someone did something similar to this. Did they find the old photo, which dates to the early 1900s, and then zhuzh it up to make it spooky?
Yeah. I don't know. It says a lot of historians agree that this is a actual real image.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
If that is the case, that's crazy. And I have a lot of questions for the person who made the mask.
The decision that
That's
this is the type of picture we should take.
Yeah, well, even just the artistry that went into, like, there had to be a lot of time and effort into making that. Like, it looks really like professionally done.
Yeah.
And not it sort of looks like an art statement rather than a Halloween costume.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case.
Yeah. Well, let's move on, because
somebody who definitely, this
one's creeping me out.
It's really creepy.
All right.
There was an adult behind that one, which makes it even creepier.
Here's another
that child
creepy one
did not
for
make
us.
that mask. This is definitely kids having fun with their little ghost masks. That is so creepy.
We got about 20 kids. All of them are wearing the same exact type of paper.
Looks like a class, like a school class or something.
Yeah. Definitely
and they've
not.
all got their little cutouts they made in class.
The thing that I find the most creepy out of this one is if you look on the far left, you can see that one of them kind of looks very ghostly. The far left one, it's kind of like the exposure didn't quite catch it. So it's like fading. Half of it's there, half of it's fading and blending into the back. And then on the far right, whatever that is.
Yes, the teacher or something. Her shape in the background just looks like a menacing spirit or something.
It looks like there is something hovering over these kids. And yeah, that's what makes it creepy. I mean, again, uncanny. We want it to make sense. But the far left image of the ghost disappearing halfway, that far right thing that looks like a person standing there, but it's probably not. I don't even know what it really is. I can't tell. Making me uneasy. My
guess is it's the teacher. It looks like the teacher in a sort of dress and shawl and hat and things.
Yeah.
Sort of over by the window.
Ooh, creepy. All right, let's keep on going because these are...
The other thing about some of these pictures, and this is a perfect example, is it taps into that fear of the dark as well. Because I'm looking instinctually, like we were saying, there's the one there on the far left that's sort of underexposed and you can't really see it. And you're wondering what else is in the dark in the back. So you're kind of looking and you're never going to see it's a picture.
Yeah.
But the brain wants to see what's back there in the dark.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Next one. How about that?
Oh my goodness.
I don't even know what to describe that. It is a couple, a man and a woman.
Yes.
They're holding hands, but they have what is that, a weasel mask?
It looks like a weasel.
Like a weasel. It
does look like a weasel.
But they look like real, but they look huge. Like
They're definitely homemade. It looks like paper mache or something like that they've spent a lot of time decorating.
Yeah, it almost looks like anteaters. That
nose.
How do you even see through that?
Maybe they didn't. Maybe they just carried them around and put them on.
Maybe.
When they got wherever they were going for things like this.
Yeah, but this goes to
show
show
a lot of little kids. Remember in the 80s, they would say, you're going to get hit by a car. Wear your mask on top of your head.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Oh my goodness, that's so creepy.
Yeah,
I feel like this is probably a lot of our listeners' perfect first date, which I can't say that I blame them for.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy. But, all right, let's keep on moving. Next one up. All right, so we have two little girls.
These.
Both of them wearing little sundresses. One of them has a huge pumpkin mask on. And then the other one, I can't really tell what type of mask that is, but it just looks like a black mask. I think
it's meant to be a black cat.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
That's my guess, is it's a black cat. It has the little ears at the top.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And the sort of big eyes. But I think it's a pumpkin and a black cat. And this, to me, looks like the classic, like I was saying, 1930s or so, flour sack dresses. Yeah. Everything's homemade. Mm-hmm. I love it. You can even see the wrinkles in their little stockings.
Yeah.
This is if this was a family photo, you would be proud to own it. You'd be like, yes.
Yes.
This is going on the mantle.
And this picture tells me a lot because I can instantly tell that the one that has the cat mask on is very confident because of the way she's standing. But then the one that has the pumpkin has the arms crossed a little bit. She's a little unsure. She's a little shy. So, yeah, you got the confident one and you got the shy one right next to each other.
And I kind of also read that maybe another way too. The smaller one is obviously younger, and she's just like, yeah, I'm a cat. And the older one is like getting a bit older, and she's trying to be ladylike. She's like, I'm a pumpkin, but I'm a pretty pumpkin.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, how do you see out of that? I don't know. Maybe out of the mouth on the pumpkin?
Yeah, it looks like the eyes and the mouth are completely open to the air, so presumably they had some kind of field of vision.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we can't see it, but I'm assuming there's something similar like near the mouth on the cat, or again, maybe they were just put on for photos. I would need to do a bit more research on that to see, is there any information out there on how these masks were practically used?
Yeah.
Like, did kids actually run from house to house with these, or did they, like, I know Halloween parties were a very popular thing to try and tame some of the mayhem. So were these sort of worn only at these parties, and were they sort of taken on and off kind of thing? But this is so cool. I love this photo.
It is. If I saw this at a thrift store somewhere, I would definitely buy it. Or an antique store. But I'm pretty sure the antique people, like, they already know that the Christmas and the Halloween stuff is going to be high ticket items. So when they get stuff in, I'm pretty sure they take those out and ask more for those.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Unfortunately. All right, we got 2 more. Here we go. Whoa.
Oh, that is the creepiest by far.
So we got...
Oh, no, I don't like that.
We got 3 kids.
That gives me creeps.
What are they sitting on? It kind of almost looks like they're sitting almost on like
tire?
like a tricycle or something. I don't know what they're sitting on, but you got one kid on the left is the oldest. You got the one on the right who's the second oldest, and then you got like the baby or something in the center.
Middle.
Yeah. But yeah.
No, that's creepy.
It is creepy. And
that's really creepy.
They have like these, I don't know what to call it, around their faces. It's pretty weird.
Like, so one's got a hat, sort of like a flat cap type hat.
Yeah.
And the other 2 look like they have kind of kerchiefs like woven around their head multiple times, because they're obviously little kids.
Yeah.
And then they have just old clothes. Like, this is a perfect example of they're wearing clothes that were kind of just normal clothes but worn out a bit.
Yeah.
And then their masks. Their masks are these kind of, I'm assuming they're paper mache, or like
they almost look like
that, or
like wraps, kind of.
Maybe. But they're just very, very creepy, and I don't know that they're meant to be anything in particular.
Yeah.
But they have that perfect quality of, they look human, but they're not right.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Very, very creepy.
Again, another one, if I saw it at an antique store, I would definitely buy it. So
I can already hear the horror movie like giggling children in my head.
Perfect. All right. So last but not least, we have this doozy. How about that?
Oh, that's creepy.
It looks like a woman, but it could be a man. I don't know.
It could be. Hard to get any idea, because like there isn't anything close enough to get a gauge on height.
Well, I
don't
know.
What I mean, like all the buildings are way in the background.
Yeah.
So,
but to me, she looks tall for whatever reason. It might just be the way she's standing, or maybe I'm using that fence in the back as a reference. Like you can see, it looks like there's like a little fence right behind her.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but she has like this mask, kind of like the kids that were wearing in the previous one, kind of like the same exact mask. She's got hair in pigtails, and she's got a doll on one hand and a stuffed bear in the other.
It's an adult dressed as a child.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
I think it's meant to be like a child with their toys, and I don't know what's creepier, the costume or the toys. Did you look at these and again, these are people's beloved toys, probably. It's probably his or her nieces, nephews, kids, whatever toys, or maybe even their childhood toys.
Yeah.
But they're half the size of the person. They're huge.
Yeah,
and they just have that old kind of worn, creepy quality to them.
And like if you look at the hands, the hands just look weird.
See, that's what something that maybe makes me think it's a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because the hands look, I'm looking at the size of the hand
They're huge.
on the absolutely giant doll, and the hands are huge.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's probably a guy dressed as like a kid, like a little girl.
Yeah, that was my first reaction, that it is a guy dressed up as a little girl. So, I don't know.
It's just,
Creepy.
the mask itself is creepy. Yeah, it's creepy. That one is possibly the winner.
Yeah, serial killer right here. 100% serial killer.
Yes. We apologize profusely if this is someone's beloved, like, great uncle or something, or dad or whatever, but just looking at this picture, they nailed the serial killer vibes.
Right. All right, so that was 10 of the creepiest Halloween costumes that your boy Lyle could find, and they were pretty out there. They were pretty out there.
They were really out there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that last one, and definitely the one with the little girl seated on the chaise lounge thing was very creepy.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, I don't know if that's sort of an art piece or if that was a Halloween costume. It looks like there's too much artistry that went into the making of the mask.
Right.
So there was an adult driving behind that one somewhere.
Yeah.
Trying to make some kind of thing.
Maybe it was just trying to be goofy, and we're sitting here going, wow, that person's a serial killer. And they were probably laughing as they were taking the picture.
Oh, yeah.
The guy in the camera was probably in hysterics. And yeah.
And we should point out too, like, cross-dressing for Halloween was like one of the oldest traditions. Like, it was an easy outfit.
Yeah.
Like, a kid would put on their mom's outfit or vice versa, and they would just go out, and it was really fun, and it was good crack, and it was a good time. It wasn't anything other than just, haha, isn't this silly? Because it's not the norm, you know?
Right. Well, I guess that's going to do it for our discussion on why these vintage costumes are just so creepy. Megan?
Super creepy.
Thanks for being on the show with me.
Thanks for having me.
And
we did.
We have some housekeeping. So we do have a new email, which is info@thehalloweenpodcast.com. We're trying to be a little bit more professional. And thanks to Megan. She's the one that pushes me to get these things. So
poor Lyle. He's like, what laundry list does Megan have for me today?
Yes.
We should really do this.
Yes. And we got our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Halloween Podcast. We're also on Instagram. I believe that one is Instagram.com/The Halloween Podcast. And if you want to watch these videos that we do, make sure you go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/The Halloween Pod. And I think, Megan, we should definitely share some of these images. We won't share all of them because we want people to definitely support the show. But go ahead and go to Facebook or Instagram. It'll be up there when this episode is out, so you guys can check them out with us. And
please reply with photos of your own. We so want to see them.
Yes, let us know. Leave us some comments. Make sure you like the pages. Make sure you follow us, and go to the website, thehalloweenpodcast.com. Always a lot of stuff. I do put up blog posts up there regularly. So even though the show doesn't happen on the podcast, it's definitely happening at thehalloweenpodcast.com. And Megan, am I forgetting anything?
I think that's everything for now.
Oh yeah, leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts, because we
yes, that too, and share us with your friends.
Yes, share us with everybody. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and we will see you next time. You guys have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone.